I got it on Temu, dirt cheap, and yet it still totally shreds. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel, and yes, it is true. I got this on Temu for $53. Now hang on a second before you go looking on Temu for this guitar, because you won't find it. This was one of those do-it-yourself guitar kits that they sell, and you know, it's the body, the neck, all the components. You've got to stain it or paint it however you want, and then put it together and set it up yourself. Now I'm gonna have a link to this kit, the one that I bought on Temu, down in the video description. But here's the thing guys, when you click on that, you're gonna see that it says $62, not $53. And that's what it was when I bought it too. Well hang on, you said it was $53. How'd you get it for $53? Well, that was one of my favorite Temu hacks. And I can't promise that this is gonna work every time guys, but it has worked for me many times. So what you do is you find something on Temu that you want, that you like the guitar kit. You click on the button that says add to cart. So now it's in your cart. And guess what guys? You don't buy it. You just leave it there. Close the app. Then maybe the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, I don't know, a week later, when you open the app, you might get a little screen that pops up and they're offering it to you for a cheaper price because it's sitting in your cart and you haven't pulled the trigger yet. And that is exactly what happened to me. All right, guys, so
Is it too much to ask to get a decent cup of coffee in this house?
What are you talking about? I have a whole thing of Folgers down in the kitchen.
Folgers? Really, son? Why don't you just ask me to drink out of the toilet?
Well, what kind of coffee do you want?
I've told you 1,000 times before. Can you just get me some Sanka instant coffee? Is that too much to ask, son?
Sanka? Do they even make that anymore?
Well, for your sake, you better hope they do.
Okay, next time I go to the store, I'll look for it.
Next time, better be today.
Okay. Now you're probably thinking at this moment, dude, a Glarry? Really? Those are just like absolute trash, junk, garbage. And I'm gonna agree that if I hadn't done certain things to this guitar, very specific things as far as like the assembling of it and the setup and stuff, if I had just left it the way it was, slapped it together, put the strings on, tuned it up, it would have been like practically unplayable, like you would expect with a lot of the Glarry stuff. But with a little bit of tweaking, guys, really not very much, you'll see I have turned this thing into an absolute dirt cheap shred monster. First of all, notice how it has like all black hardware, the bridge, the tuners, the neck plate. Everything is black, right? But when you take a look at the kit, look at the picture, you will see that it's like a mix and match of like half black hardware and half chrome hardware. Why they did that, I have no idea. It seems weird to me. Like, why wouldn't you just go like all chrome or all black? So the first thing that I decided was I'm gonna take out all the chrome stuff and I'll just replace it with black stuff. Again, dirt cheap. So anything that I had to replace, like the bridge or whatever, it's just stuff that I either got on Temu or AliExpress, dirt cheap. And I was pretty sure that those original pickups that it came with were gonna be like absolutely worthless, and I was right. So I got a different set of pickups to put in here. These are ceramic humbuckers, high output, like 15K in the bridge, 7 or 8K in the neck, and they sound great. And guess what? I got them on AliExpress for like 15 bucks for the set. And as you can see, I decided to stain it, not paint it. My original plan, guys, was I was gonna stain it purple, like a dark purple. And I literally went to Hobby Lobby. I went in there, I bought it. I got in my car, I drive away, I'm on my way home, and as I'm on my way home, I see a Dodge Challenger in this paint scheme with like the orange color and the 2 black stripes. And I was like, that's what I'm doing. And I literally made a U-turn and drove back to Hobby Lobby and bought a little bottle, another bottle of the RIT. It was like orange. I think it was called tangerine. And at that same time, I decided, for the 2 black stripes, I'm not gonna just like paint them on there or stain them on there. I literally took my 1/4 inch trim router and carved them in there. So here's like a close look, and you guys can see that they're actually carved into the top of the body, and then I put the black stain on top of that. It's not perfect, and it definitely gives it that like, homemade, do-it-yourself look, but that's cool because I did it, I made it. And when you do something yourself, no, it doesn't look like it's pro, doesn't look like it came out of the Fender custom shop, but who cares? You did it yourself, and you're like, yeah, I did that. That's awesome. Now, I know you guys want to hear me shred on this because I said I turned it into a total shred machine, and I did. And after you guys hear me shredding on it, I'm going to tell you what I had to do to this dirt cheap Glarry kit to get it into like optimal shred playing condition. So check it out, and then I'll tell you all about it. If you guys want to see me shred some more on this dirt cheap Glarry guitar kit from Temu, be sure to tune into my weekly live stream this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Alright, first of all, yes, I did have to do like a very rudimentary fret leveling. And really, the frets weren't super horrible as far as being like having high frets and being uneven, but a little bit. So, I got my marker and marked all the frets and went over it, not major. Like I said, rudimentary. Did a rudimentary fret leveling and then kind of went over them with some steel wool. And it's still not like perfect, but I have really low action on this. I think it's even lower than what I normally get on my guitars. And I'm not really getting any fret buzz, so good there. Now the next thing. The Glarry guitars are notorious for the big fat neck profiles. I don't know why they haven't changed this up yet. And this one was no different. It had that big fat Glarry neck profile. Well, I can't shred on that, or I can, but it's not comfortable. So I got out my sander, first the electric one, and I just went to town on the back of that neck. This way, and then some hand sanding, and I made that neck like way thinner, and it's like really flat in the back now. So now it's got a pretty thin D-shaped profile, and it feels great. Wow, that makes such a difference. Now, the last thing, which is crucial. If you were to just put this together as is, and you put that neck in the neck pocket, yeah, if it's in the neck pocket, fine, no problem. The holes were drilled, ready to go, no problem. But the issue is that the neck pocket is too deep. So the neck sits a little bit further down in the pocket than it should. Well, what does that cause? That causes really high action down in this part of the fretboard. And where am I doing a lot of the shredding? In the upper part of the fretboard. And no amount of adjusting was gonna fix that, right? I mean, I can only adjust the saddle so much. You turn the truss rod, you get the neck straight, but you're still gonna have this huge gap down here at the upper frets because that neck pocket is just too low. So to fix that, guys, I had to put a shim in the neck pocket. I'm talking about the entire neck pocket. Like I had to cut a little piece of wood. Here's a close-up view. You guys can clearly see it. I had to cut a little piece of wood that would fit in the entire neck pocket and raise it up like a good portion. And it might not look like much, guys, but man, that makes all the difference in the world as far as being able to get that action that I want in this part of the fretboard. And I've had to do that on a few other guitars where I bought like a cheap guitar body, either on eBay or AliExpress or Temu, and it's like the same issue. I don't know if they're all coming from the same factory or what, but the neck pockets are too deep, too low. So I've had to put that shim in there like every time to bring that neck up to where it should be. And then the last thing, guys, as I mentioned, I put in different pickups because those, you know, stock Glarry pickups, they're so weak and like don't have the output and you just can't get that 80s shred sound that I want. And then, you know, with the new pickups, I decided I don't want the pickup rings. I want these to be direct mounted. That's the way I prefer it. You know, anytime I have like custom guitars made, usually, I have them direct mounted. So I plugged the little holes that were there, put a little toothpick and some wood glue and put them in there. If you look really closely, you can see it, but not really noticeable with the way the finish is and seeing the wood grain and stuff. And then I made those direct mounted, and I think it looks pretty awesome. Now guys, after having done all that, and it really wasn't a lot. It sounds like a lot, but it really wasn't. This thing plays awesome, and it sounds great. But it's because I did those things to it. If I didn't shim that neck pocket, it'd be practically unplayable. If I didn't change the pickups, I wouldn't get the sound that I want. If I didn't thin that neck profile, I wouldn't like playing it. And if I didn't do a basic fret leveling, I wouldn't be able to get that low action without a ton of fret buzz. And I'm telling you guys, all that stuff that I did, I'm pretty sure that most of you guys could do that with relative ease. And if you're sitting there going, wow, I don't think I can do that. I don't know, man, that's not, what if I mess it up? Come on, man, it's $53. You know, what? Don't be worried that like, wow, I might mess it up. I might ruin it. I might destroy it. That's part of the process. That's part of the fun. You know, that's how you learn, by doing things. Sometimes you mess up, sometimes you don't. I make mistakes all the time, seriously. And you learn from it, and you hope that, you know, it doesn't completely destroy the guitar, but man, just go for it. I mean, $53, even if you don't get the discount, $62. And you just have fun doing it. All right, last thing, guys. I know a lot of people want to know, did you have to pay an import fee? Was there a tariff or something? Because, you know, Temu, that's stuff from China. It's all made in China. No, I did not. And that's because, again, if we look at the listing, see that it says local delivery? And look right there, in green, it says no import charges. So this kit, and a lot of their stuff, it's already here in the United States somewhere, some warehouse somewhere. So when you're buying it and they're shipping it to you, it's shipping from somewhere in the United States. So you're not gonna get charged any kind of like tariff or import fee on this. All right, guys, be sure to let me know what you think of my new dirt cheap Glarry do-it-yourself shred guitar kit. What do you think about what I did to it? Do you like the color? Do you think it looks cool that I put these two black stripes here? I'm kind of like on the fence about that. Part of me wishes that I didn't put those two black stripes and I just left it, you know, with the orange-red finish everywhere, but And again, if you want to check one of these, I've got the link down in the video description for it. And as usual, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Why don't you just ask me to drink out of the toilet?